Sandra, elected Democrats want to strip away parental rights in Washington state, pushing a bill to let public schools withhold critical information about the health and safety of their children. Our next guest says it shows just how far Democrats' priorities are off. Braun is the Republican leader of the Washington State Senate. Senator, it's great to have you with us today. We saw this statement last week by the Democratic leader of the Senate, Jamie Peterson, who basically said that parents have no rights to know about their teenage children's health when they're in school. Listen to this.
Kids over 13 have the complete right to make their own decisions about their mental health care. Parents don't have a right to have notice. They don't have a right to have consent about that.
I either talked to or showed that clip to a number of parents that I know, and to a person, their reaction was, "That's just nuts." What do you say?
Well, I'm a parent and I agree with the reaction. It is nuts. And unfortunately, that's the direction that the Democrats are going here in the state of Washington. Look, they're working to undermine parental rights initiative that was passed last year by restricting the ability to share medical information with parents. It's a bad bill. Divides parents from their children. It's undermining trust in our public education system. They're 100% on the wrong track, and I think the people are very frustrated.
So it involves a 48-hour notification rule that the schools can wait up until 48 hours to notify a parent of something that happens at school regarding their child's safety or their health. As long as in the health, it's on a non-emergent basis. Emergencies, they need to be notified right away. One of your colleagues in the House, a fellow by the name of Travis Couture, tried to fight against that and failed. But listen to what he said about it.
The underlying bill essentially states that schools can wait 48 hours before they tell parents if their children were involved in any kind of criminal action or if there was any sexual misconduct of staff. We have seen a stunning amount of sexual misconduct and sexual assaults by educators in our schools just in the last year itself.
And here's what you wrote in an op-ed in the Chronicle. You said, "I know of no parent who would be comfortable waiting up to 2 days to learn that their child had been the victim of a crime or had been questioned by law enforcement on school grounds during school time." Why do they want to wait 48 hours? Does a parent, well, I guess according to the Senate leader, they don't, but parents at home would think, wait a minute, I've got a right to know if something's happening to my child at school.
Well, I mean, on the floor of the Senate, we actually got that changed. They backed off in large part because of the difficulty they had in the House and the outcry they had from parents. But what they wouldn't back off on is this, ideological requirement that schools not tell parents about medical issues happening at school or scheduled by school districts. It's a bad policy. They're starting to feel the pressure, so they're starting to back up. But they have locked ideological arms in keeping medical information from parents.
Right. So, this came up in the Virginia gubernatorial election a number of years ago, and it really sort of was the death knell for Terry McAuliffe when, in a debate with Glenn Youngkin, he said this. Listen here.
I don't think parents should be telling schools what they should teach.
This idea of parental rights when it comes to their child in school is something that's very important to parents. I've got 2 kids in school. I had 2 previously as well. And I would want to know everything that happened to them in school. And I think most parents would as well.
Yeah, I mean, what's happened is they've become very dismissive of parents' relationship with their children. They think schools know best and that they can dictate that. What we're finding out is parents don't feel like that. They recognize that they have a right and an obligation to be involved in their children's education. Republicans are about building that trust between school districts and parents. Democrats want to tear down that trust. We think that trust, that relationship is healthy and necessary for the proper education of our children.
Wow. We thought what was going on in Loudoun County a couple of years ago was something, but what's going on there in Washington State is something else altogether. Senator, great to have you join us and chat with us about this, the parental rights at school and their children. That's a very, very important topic for folks across the country.
All right. Thanks for having me on.
Appreciate it.